Christy and I go back to a conference when I saw her speak at a Glazer Kennedy event with 2,000 people. Right after The Apprentice, I think about, I don't know, maybe 6 months or something like that. And
do you want me to tell the story?
All right, go ahead.
So right after the show, I was contacted by Dan Kennedy. And if you guys don't know who he is, he's very famous in the copywriting and direct marketing. So Dan hired me to host a seminar. And I have never been a public speaker. I have an engineering degree, a restaurant, and real estate. But I thought, oh, I can do this. So I get in the room, and I have these 3x5 note cards written down. I didn't memorize my speech, and I walk into this room of thousands and thousands of people, and I was lost. He said, be on for 10 to 15 minutes. I see a timer on the stage, 60 minutes. And I got off the stage, and the two people I met was Jonathan Sprinkles and James. And he said, will you speak at my next event? I said, are you kidding me? I said, and then he told me what he did, and I said, I will only speak at your next event if you can help me. And so when you saw the testimonial of me praising James for helping my career, that is 100% true, because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without James giving me a leg up and teaching me everything I know.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. She was in a bad situation. Your first talk. Okay, picture this. It's your very first presentation. You're in front of 2,000 people. You're the first speaker. So you're setting the tone for the whole event. You've never talked before. And following you is Zig Ziglar. How about that?
Oh my God.
And you're supposed to speak for 10 minutes, and you show up and the screen says 60 when you hit the stage. Would you be nervous?
Yeah. Listened to your presentation last night, and I was thinking this morning that my whole career is based on attachment. Nobody, well, some people care about Christy Frank, but nobody, you know, I would say my very first huge lesson came from James and Dan Kennedy. And when I was first speaking, Dan Kennedy said, you need a book, you need to ride this as far as you possibly can. And my attachment, the reason he hires me, the reason I get hired so much, not Christy Frank, but we get to use The Apprentice in Trump's name, we get to use his picture, we get to use the branding, we get to use the song, we get to use it all. And that's what stops people and makes them look at whatever product that I'm endorsing. So I remember when I first sat down with James, and I was an actress in Hollywood many, many, many years ago, and being a reality TV show in LA, that's embarrassing almost. And I said to James, nobody wants to hear about my story, and why do they care about the Trump thing? And he kind of hit me on the head and said, are you crazy? This is huge.
Yeah.
And
I literally told her,
exactly.
She's like, well, I'm going to talk about, you know, getting my engineering degree. And I said, Christy, you talk about that, I ain't paying you. I said, they want to hear about this. She's like, really? Let's look at the power of attachment. Remember we talked about that last night a little bit? It all started with, obviously, The Apprentice, and we'll get to all that. We'll kind of walk you through what she went through. Because it's amazing to find out what these folks have done behind the scenes, not just what you saw on camera. It's more amazing to see the behind-the-scenes stuff. It's like Rudy, my friend Rudy, who did the movie Rudy. The movie's great. How many of you saw the movie Rudy? His story about getting the movie made, which I'll tell you later, is way better than the movie. Spent 9 years of his life getting rejected. Okay, so I'll tell you that later. So the behind-the-scenes stuff we'll get to. But had she not had that exposure on The Apprentice, she never would have gotten Dan Kennedy to call. She never would have done that presentation. So watch how it's spiderwebs. I never would have seen her there at the presentation and walked up to her after. And now here I am thinking about my attachment. I can attach to Christy, which means I attach my seminars to The Apprentice and to Trump with all the media attention that was going on at the time. So thinking like a marketer. So here I am thinking. And I knew I could help her with the speaking part. That was easy. I just had to get her to say yes to come to another event after she wasn't feeling too good about the first one. But brought her to the event, and I made it easy for her. You got fired.
My first tagline, which James said no, was the first woman fired.
I don't think
bad,
that was good.
bad.
Do you remember, were you like number 8 left or something like that? 9, 10?
Close,
something like that?
close.
Okay.
No, I was fired number 5.
You were fired number 5, so you're 11 left.
Yes.
Okay, but here's what...
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
But I was the only one on Oprah. I was the only one that Barbara Walters said, and heartfelt, I can't believe you got kicked off. You were my favorite. I got hired by Dan Kennedy. I went on Howard Stern. I went on so much media because it was a big deal when I got fired, and the show was huge. We were on the cover of Time. The show is huge. And so that fact, I look back now, and I'm so blessed. I really am. My whole career is built on what I did. And it's, you know, the power of association. I get to say I was on Oprah. It's huge.
Didn't Barbara Walters almost invite you to be on The View as a host?
You're so sweet.
I remember that.
Yeah. It was difficult to sell this because you couldn't say, hey, you're going to be on The Apprentice, but you could say, experience this with me.
Why, so let me just share this. When I was in November speaking for the Dan Kennedy, Bill Glazer event, for about 20 minutes, I think it was the next day or 2 days later or something, I did a small little presentation on coaching programs. And my whole coaching segment, there were, I think, 7 or 8 of us, something like that. And my whole 20 minutes was about how to turn your regular, mundane, stale coaching program into an experience they remember for life. And I think that's where coaching programs are headed. I'm actually doing a seminar and a whole product on that right there, how to create an experience. Like our MAP members, we just got back from Cabo San Lucas. We did a mastermind on the ship we took down there. And so we were doing the experience, but we're also masterminding and coaching. Stuff better from an experience versus like the old way of just being in a hotel room? You think it's more memorable? It's attached to a good memory. The whole setting. Do you all catch that? So write this down. I want you to start, just write the word, how can I, write this like little question. How can I turn blank into an experience? So if you're speaking on stage, how can you not just be like the regular speaker? How can you turn it into an experience for the audience? How can you turn it into an experience for the event coordinator? It could be something as simple as that part of your fee includes a book for everybody, and you'll sign and autograph the book after, and you will take pictures with everybody with the book. And you might say, well, yeah, but I just wrote this book, and I'm not like, well-known like Christy or something like that. Well, that's not what it's about. You have a book, right? And you're speaking, so they are moved by your presentation, and now they get to take your book home after and extend the message past the conference, past the event.